welcome to this week's edition of Muddy River News This Week. I'm David Adam. I'm the news editor here at Muddy River News, and I am filling in for Bob Goff, who is sunning himself somewhere out on the West Coast right now. However, joining me today is Bryan Renfro, the president of John Wood Community College. He is nearly through his first year as the president of the school. Recently got to celebrate his inauguration as the school's president. So, welcome. You've been here before, but it's good to get to finally get to meet you.
Yeah, good to meet you too. I always welcome the opportunity to come back and talk about things that are going on in the community and things that are happening at John Wood. Well,
and the thing is, there's always something going on at John Wood, but there's something new going on out there. I read something the other day about this Aspen Prize that you guys are working on. What exactly? I'd never heard of it. I know there's like 150 schools that are eligible for this. How did you become eligible?
So, well, the Aspen Prize for Community College Excellence is an award by the Aspen Institute, which is a nonprofit organization, and they evaluate around 1,500 different community colleges across the United States. And they do that by collecting data from the Integrated Post-Education Data System, or IPEDS. And they look at student performance metrics, the number of students that graduate, the number of students that go to work and get employed, the number of students that transfer to a four-year institute. And they got lots of different factors that they look at. But based on that, they decide what are the best 150 community colleges in the United States.
Okay.
So you don't apply.
I was going to say, you don't have to fill out anything. They reach out to you.
Yeah, they reach out to you. You can apply, actually. So, you can beg, but it doesn't really matter. And it doesn't cost anything. So it's not like we wrote them a check to get the award.
Right.
But they select what they determine based on the data, the top 150 community colleges in the United States.
Now, you've got a $1 million prize, apparently, to the overall winner. So what's the process? Now you're one of the 150. How do they whittle it down to one?
Sure. So I akin it to the Aspen Prize for Community College Excellence. That's the Super Bowl for community colleges. Essentially, we're in the playoffs now.
There you go.
So we're in the playoffs, and we have to submit some additional data to them, which we've done. We have to submit some authorization to them to allow them to collect some other data from the federal and state governments, and then we have to write a narrative to tell our story, if you will. From that, they'll select 25, and then they'll narrow that down to another 10. Then they'll actually visit those colleges.
Okay.
And from that 10, they'll select one, and that one is the #1 top community college in the nation, and they receive a check for $1 million.
And this is, I think I saw the announcement would not happen until the spring of 2025. So it was a long way to go.
That whole timeline kind of will be going on. Our written submission is due December 12th. And we won't even hear if we make it till the top 25 until April or May.
Okay.
And then June the 10 will be selected for the site visits.
So I'm assuming you've already got $1 million already spent, right? You know where it's going to go.
You know we do.
Okay, well, good. Spend it on your athletic director and your basketball coach. That man's working too hard.
He is, isn't he?
Spring enrollment numbers. You got to start looking at those now.
We are.
How do they look right now?
They look good. They look good. You know, we're coming off of really a record enrollment for the fall. We were up 8%. The state was up 6%, so we were up 2 more percent than the average of the state. And so I think we're still riding that wave. Our focus really has been on how many students we can keep. Right? When we're up 8%, we want to keep every one of those students so that they come back in the spring. We also tend to get a little bump in the spring. We have a lot of students who maybe went away to school.
That was what I was going to ask you about. Kids, I had a daughter who went away to school, and now she waited until after her first year was finished.
Yeah.
But it was like, wow, this is expensive. Wow, I kind of miss home, or whatever reason. And then all of a sudden they go, man, I could take that same class at John Wood Community College for a fraction of the price. And I figure, do you typically get a bump in the spring?
We do. We see, anywhere from about, 5% of our students that come in the spring are new students. and many of them have gone off to school, and like you said, for whatever reason, either they were just homesick, didn't like it, you know, wanted somebody to do their laundry, you know,
I missed
or maybe they
meatloaf.
just had too much fun.
Well,
could be that.
I've heard of those too.
You know, it doesn't matter us at John Wood. We're about educational opportunity. So whatever your reason, we're there for you.
Yeah. Another thing that you offer for students, especially high school students, is the dual credit enrollment.
Yeah.
And when I was kind of preparing for this to talk to you, there was a note from Tracy Orn with your staff who said that there are still people and students who don't know this exists.
Yeah,
I mean, I took dual credit classes, and I mean, I'm an old fossil. How do you do most of the schools in this region offer dual credit
I
courses?
think just about every school in our service district has some dual credit, some more than others.
Sure.
A lot of it has to do with affordability. We do discount the rate, so they're not, if you're in high school and you're taking college level classes, you're paying less than if you're not.
Right.
But a lot of times it comes down to cost and affordability, and a lot of times it's just, you know, a lot of people are just busy. And so they don't necessarily think about college, your sophomore or junior year of high school. You really maybe start to think about where you're going to go to college, but not that I could actually be in college right now.
Right.
And it's an incredible cost savings to parents.
Oh, absolutely.
And to students to be able to take as many of those hours as they can. We have students who maybe, you know, get their first year done, come to John Wood that second year, and then transfer in as a junior, and you know, depending on where they go, they may save as much as $50,000 on their college education.
I know there was one student, I don't know if it's still possible to do this, but she basically graduated from John Wood Community College before she graduated from her own high school.
It's becoming more and more common all the time.
Okay.
It really is. We're starting to see more and more students do that, and many of them are taking classes online or taking an evening class in addition to a class that they might be taking during the day. That's for dual credit at their high school.
Another way that you're helping students, and this is new this year that I just read about, is the Pathways to Promise scholarship. Now I know that's new this year because it's the 50th anniversary of the school, but is this new money and new scholarships?
It's a little bit of both.
Okay.
So we're repurposing some of our existing funds that we have to cover some long-standing scholarships that we've had, but also our goal as going into our 50th anniversary year is to raise $500,000 for additional scholarship funding. About half of the students that come to John Wood now, either through their federal financial aid, their Pell Grants, or the state monetary assistance program, or MAP, and then additional scholarships, about half of the students pay $0. And our goal is to try to raise enough private funding to be able to increase our scholarship pool, to move that to 75%, and 75% students pay $0. And of course, our long-term goal would be that Promise campaign, where we would have 0 students.
So this
and that's
won't
with
be
no
just
debt, not student loans. We're talking about
and this
about
is
grants
this
and
is not then
scholarships.
you know, because this was created for the 50th anniversary. This isn't a one-time deal.
No,
this
it is
sounds like
not.
it's something going forward.
No, it's something that we want to do going forward, and we felt like as we were looking for the next 50 years of John Wood, would be able to take down any financial barriers that students might have, where they say, you know, I don't think I can afford to go to college. Well, we want to eliminate that thought.
Also, you just had a recent, a nice celebration this past week at your Ag Services Center. Tell the viewers what happened out there.
We did. You know, the Orr Corporation, in partnership with the John Wood Community College Foundation and the college and the Ag Alumni Association that are out there, have worked really hard, and they raised $2.5 million for that world-class facility.
Right.
And I mean, I'm telling you, it truly is world-class. But there's still little things here and there, just like, you know, when you buy a new house, you got to get new furniture, and you
got to buy the new things to hang on the walls.
And so we were very fortunate to have a gift from the Illinois Credit Services, Farm Credit Services, of $60,000 that allowed us to put bleachers. These are retracting bleachers that roll in and out in the arena. And you know, we host several large events there each year. Each fall we do a livestock judging competition. That was back in September, and we had around 500 high school seniors and high school students, juniors and seniors mostly, from all across our area in the facility. And so now we'll have bleachers for them to sit on. So It's exciting.
You gotta have places for people to sit in the new house.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Also, you are doing some expanding at the Workforce Development Center. What are the additions and expansions that are going on out there?
Yeah, we started this prior to my arrival at John Wood, but we've added 14,000 square feet onto our Workforce Development Center. That's additional classroom space for our business and industry training division. It's going to offer space for our heating, ventilation, and air conditioning controls program, or HVAC program. We're going to have a virtual simulation lab in there as well. And I think, I think a lot of people know that when you think of John Wood, it's synonymous with truck driver training. And so this is going to have a new home for our truck driver training program. It'll have 2 bays, a classroom, and a space for the truck driving simulator. So we're really excited about them that program having a new home. I really consider that a legacy program from John Wood. And you look at our region, we're a hub for agricultural and manufacturing transportation. So for John Wood's truck driver training program, we're excited that they got some new digs.
Well, that was one of the questions that I was going to ask you about. That is the fact that John Wood over the years has always been very responsive to the needs of local employers, whether it's nursing, truck driver training, or whatever. What are you hearing from employers now that are, or the businesses that are saying, we can't get enough of this?
Yeah, and it really is. It's almost in every sector. I think almost every industry is looking to recruit quality folks who are willing to work. One of we've been meeting with the local restaurant managers and hotel owners, lodging owners, and years ago we actually had a hospitality and culinary arts program, and for whatever reason, changes in the economic demands have shifted, and we feel like we need that program again. So that's one that you'll see that will be coming back, and we're happy to get it started again to help improve the overall quality service in the area.
Well, I mean, you want to help the people who need the help. You want to keep people locally.
Yeah. So one of our largest employment sectors. We've also been working with the manufacturing sector as well, and you'll hear about this in the next couple of months. We have a partnership. We've adopted a national model for training folks in the manufacturing sector. It's called the FAME, the Federation for Advanced Manufacturing of Education. Some of our largest employers are going to be partners in that with John Wood Community College. And so you'll be hearing more about that in the coming months. We're really excited about it. It was a model that's been employed by Toyota in the 80s and 90s, and kind of merged over into the community colleges and about 10 years ago. And now there's over 200 different programs that are similar to it in nature. The Federation for Advanced Manufacturing Education in community colleges across the nation. We will be the first chapter in Illinois. So we're excited about that as well.
Continuing to do what you've done there for years is responding to the needs of what your local employers need.
Yeah, and what's unique about this program is we have a lot of students that come to us, they go for a year or 2 years and get that education and then go to work. This is what I call a quasi-apprenticeship program. The students are going to be employed by the manufacturing company, and they're going to work 3 days a week, but 2 days a week they'll be in classes at John Wood. So it's kind of like an apprenticeship, and it's been very successful because the students are learning the theories and the how to run the equipment and repair the equipment in the laboratory setting, but then they're going right onto the manufacturing floor and seeing it for real.
Last question for you. You've been here now for about a year.
About a year, being January.
You're from Tennessee. Came here from Texas.
Yeah, certainly.
But is there anything now that you've been here in Quincy that you go, man, I still haven't figured this part out yet? What's going on? Why do you all do this in Quincy the way you do it?
One of the things is, that I'll have to say, and I've texted a few friends or called back and say, have you ever heard of this? It's pizza and Mexican in the same establishment.
You have no idea how many people.
And I love food. So.
That's right. And I don't have any idea how many people say that same thing. I've seen pizza. I've seen Mexican. I've never seen them together.
I've even seen Mexican pizza. Right?
Yeah, but I've never seen it work. That's awesome. Hey, thank you very much for coming by and joining us today.
Thank you. It's as fun fun as always, so I love being here.
All right, and thank you for joining us today. You can catch this video and any other of the videos that are produced by Muddy River News by clicking on the Muddy River TV Plus tab at the top of our homepage.